Hello everyone, welcome to Weekly Weird News.
So I think we've mentioned this phenomenon before, but there are a ton of people here in Southern California who don't just enjoy visiting Disneyland, they go a step beyond and create a lifestyle around it. On the shallow end of the pool, you got the season pass holders who get their money's worth by visiting the park on a absurdly regular basis, treating it as their main source of leisure and sometimes evolving into what are apparently known as pass holes. But go a little deeper and there's the Disneyland social clubs. Large groups of Disneyland fans who roam the park in matching outfits reminiscent of a biker gang with all sorts of denim and leather and patches and pins and tattoos.
It's exciting. Now, they're pretty hard to miss these days if you visit Disneyland, and if you didn't know any better, it's easy to think what you're looking at is a legitimate street gang. But no! These people just really, really like Disneyland. And they chose to represent that love by combining the innocence of Walt Disney cartoon characters with a punk/biker look generally associated with trouble. Many social clubbers are heavily tattooed, but on closer inspection, a lot of these tattoos are based on Disney imagery. And Disney looks the other way on the copyright claims.
Yeah.
Give me that skin. It's a weird juxtaposition and a fairly recent phenomenon that only started getting press in the last few years, starting with articles in Vice and OC Weekly back in 2014.
So those articles exposed a wider audience to these social clubs who go by names like the Neverlanders, the Main Street Elite, the Wonderlanders, the Jungle Cruisers, Walt's Wanderers, the Black Death Crew, Mickey's Outlaws, Walt's Misfits, the Sons of Anakin, Captain EO's Ragtag Band, and so on and so
The
forth.
Black Death Crew?
Yeah, that one sticks out a bit.
I mean, I love Disney, but
You know? Yeah, so there's only a few dozen prominent clubs that boast dozens of members and are there on the reg, but the total number of social clubs, somewhere around 100, which is crazy. The trend seems to have started through Instagram, where hardcore Disneyland fans with an outsider aesthetic were able to discover each other and plan to hang out and make new friends at their favorite place on Earth. By coincidence, Sons of Anarchy was a super popular show at the time, so a lot of the clubs adopted a biker club aesthetic, complete with all the membership patches and all that.
can't wait for Disney's first animated feature where Mickey and Donald and Goofy are all dressed up like a biker gang.
Yeah, and Pluto wants to join, but he's got to get beat in.
Yeah, they gotta beat the fuck out of that dog.
9 seconds.
For the most part, it sounds like innocent fun. Just adults using the internet to make friends with like-minded people. The clubs are known for doing stuff like charity work, picking up any trash they see around the park, reporting problems to security, and even singing to kids they encounter who are visiting Disneyland on their birthday.
Aw.
Yes, obsession with Disneyland and hero worship of Walt Disney manifesting in the form of what looks like gangs from West Side Story or The Warriors. It's pretty odd, but we don't really get it. But they are harmless. Right?
Well, maybe not. According to a recently filed lawsuit, the whole fake gang approach to fandom might not be so fake for some of these people. The suit, filed by John Sarno of the Main Street Fire Station 55 Social Club, alleges a recurring pattern of intimidation and harassment from Jacob Fite, president of the White Rabbit Social Club, including what's essentially the classic organized crime tactic of demanding protection money. Sarno and his club had planned to conduct a memorial walk around the park on September 11th of last year to raise money for a scholarship charity for children of deceased 9/11 first responders. But according to the suit, Fite and several members of his White Rabbits cornered him at the park a week before the event, demanding $500 for them to protect participants in the charity walk.
Well, that doesn't seem so nice.
No. What would Walt think?
Sarno says he turned them down because they're raising money to give to a charity, and also Disneyland has pretty robust security already. I mean,
Yeah, I think they're good.
that fire hose there, it's got a camera in
Yeah,
it.
there's a camera everywhere.
There's a camera
You
up
are
there.
being watched.
Camera up there. And they got facial recognition technology
Yeah,
like you wouldn't believe.
The whole park is one big Amazon store.
And a subterranean system of tunnels that allow them to be anywhere. at any time.
And Walt Disney's frozen head watching over all of it.
Yeah, above that fire station. So he probably sides with them. Fite then allegedly got really mad and told Sarno that if he didn't get paid, he'd make sure Sarno and his wife would never be able to visit Disneyland again, which is, to these people, a very serious threat.
It's everything.
Following that, Sarno says Fite started slandering him on various social club Facebook pages and on his podcast, accusing Sarno of being a pedophile who was scamming charity participants out of their money. Holy shit.
Other allegations in the suit include Fight allegedly distributing shirts to people at Disneyland featuring Sarno's face and a message to warn patrons that he's a pedophile who should be reported to the police on site. Fight allegedly ordered White Rabbits members to beat up Sarno or anyone wearing his club's patch if they saw them. Fight allegedly posted flyers around Sarno's neighborhood labeling him as a pedophile. And Fight allegedly somehow gained access to Sarno's medical records and shared his and his wife's medications publicly, accusing them of being drug addicts. Sarno and Fight are both grown-ass middle-aged adults, by the way, just to be clear. These aren't teens. These are grown-ass men with families. And Disneyland is very fucking important to them.
I'm sure Disneyland is also very upset.
This could have some effects on
Everyone.
your ability to walk around to Disney Park with a few dozen other people wearing the same leather jacket, if I had to guess.
This is very unsettling. I don't like this at all.
No.
It's supposed to be the happiest place on earth.
No,
Now they're doing
anymore.
shakedowns. What is this? All told, Sarno is suing Fight and 19 members of the White Rabbits for defamation, invasion of privacy, conspiracy, and intentional emotional distress, and Disneyland itself is named as a defendant. These are, of course, allegations and could be an exaggeration or total bullshit, but guys, listen, the idea of Disneyland-themed gangs roaming around Disneyland, engaging in actual organized crime, is one of the weirdest things that we've ever heard. But it's also not completely shocking, given the way fandom works these days. All Star Wars fans, they're pretty much a gang too.
They are.
If you find enough people with an over-the-top obsession with some commercialized fictional entity, you're gonna find people who take that shit way too far, especially once they start breaking off into factions and cosplaying as literal outlaws.
Yeah.
So,
Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah.
And a lot of these social clubs, they even base their leadership structure and membership requirements off of biker games. They got the long trial periods for new members, followed by initiation rituals if they make the cut. So yeah, but before this lawsuit, things weren't totally perfect when it came to Disneyland social clubs either. Within the hardcore Disneyland annual pass holder community online, there's a lot of examples of people posting messages accusing social clubs of shit like claiming specific benches and eating areas in the park as turf and intimidating other park guests who try to use them. Annoying other park guests by having one member stand in line for a ride and then cutting in line with a dozen other members once the wait's nearly over and then just being like, What are you gonna do about it? We run this park. That kind of shit. Come on.
It just takes angering the one wrong dad.
That's the thing. Apparently, because real biker guys, Mongols, Hells Angels, they got families too. Their kids love Disney just like the rest of us. And apparently there's been a few times where they go to the park and they're like, so who you ride with?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's not I'm not in a biker gang. I just love Disneyland. Like,
Yeah. I'm with the White Rabbit.
you should be careful wearing that shit around.
Yeah, or else I'll shove your head in a toilet like people used to do in high school.
Yeah.
Nerd. A lot of these completely unverifiable online posts criticize the social clubs for having an inflated sense of superiority and an air of elitism towards normie Disneyland guests, acting as if they have more right to be there than anyone else. It's typical fandom gone wrong shit that you'll encounter all over the internet and at conventions for comics, anime, and trading card games. It's just a little extra weird seeing that whole thing manifest among fans of a theme park based on children's cartoons whose motto is the happiest place on earth. Neither of us really understand this level of fandom. I've been to the park a few times. Lines are too long.
It's nice. I go every couple of years.
The one in Tokyo is great. No gangs there as far as I know.
No.
The Yakuza
You
keeps
can't
it
even
on
have
lock.
tattoos.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, but this whole thing, it's ridiculous. It's weird. It's a tiny bit sad. But hey, you do you, and when the park closes, it's up to the cats. They keep all those feral cats there to eat all the mice and rats and other bad animals. And
The cats are the original Disneyland social club.
yeah, they're the ones that own the park, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have to deal with them.
If I see one mouse in this park,
Yeah, the Disneyland Pussycats. They're the hardest gang of all.
But moving on, guys, the Winter Olympics, or the big event. Is there a
I don't think there's a-
non-commercial euphemism for this?
I don't know. The big event.
The cold games are
Yeah, the cold games. There you go.
they're happening right now.
The Ice War.
The ice war is going down right now over in Korea. And if you've been with us long enough, you know that global sporting events like the Olympics and the World Cup are a treasure trove of weekly weird news material. Unfortunately for us, but fortunately for pretty much everyone else, the proceedings in Pyeongchang seem to be going a hell of a lot smoother than the 2016 Apocalyptics in Brazil or the 2014 oligarch enrichment scam in Russia. But there's still been a lot of room for some weird shit to go down, and so far, our favorite example of this is recurring weekly weird news characters and mortal enemies, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, settling their differences aside to walk the streets of South Korea together and take pictures with locals.
Have they held hands yet for a photo op?
They've done a lot of high fives, handshakes.
If you know a better way to exchange protein strands, I'd like to hear it. Now, of course, yeah, obviously, this isn't the real Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, but as far as likenesses go, they nailed the looks better than almost any other example we've seen. They were so convincing, in fact, that while attending the opening ceremony for the Winter Olympics on Friday, they were kicked out of the stadium for causing too much of a ruckus among attendees and journalists. Later, they headed over to Seoul, where they walked the streets swarmed by onlookers seeking selfies, as well as plenty of reporters asking them about why they're doing this.
So it turns out Kim Jong-un is an Australian citizen named Howard, and Donald Trump is an American musician named Dennis Allen. And they've both been doing the whole imposter thing for a while. And they decided what better time and place than now to team up than the 2018 Olympics. Fake Kim told Reuters, "What we'd like to achieve by coming to South Korea at the Winter Olympics is to show the world that this is what peace can look like when two leaders get along. I mean, we get along personally, so I believe Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, if they talked, they'd probably get along."
This guy doesn't know about the Disneyland gangs. This is not that easy.
They'd probably get along because, in my opinion, they're pretty much the same people. And Dennis Rodman has confirmed this. He has met both of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But while these two were kicked out of the opening ceremony simply for resembling two world leaders and attracting lots of attention, another dude was kicked out of the opening ceremony for actually managing to get past security and crash the ceremony during what was supposed to be an emotional, unifying moment for South and North Korea. In the middle of an 80-year-old man performing a traditional Korean folk song that predates Korea's Civil War, some dude got up on stage right next to the guy singing and then somehow managed to crash a separate part of the ceremony later before finally being caught by security and then removed. So Olympic security started off the whole event not inspiring a whole lot of confidence.
And that 80-year-old man, this is probably the most important moment of his life.
Yeah.
And
it was ruined.
Some fucking asshole had to go and ruin it.
Yeah. Korean's version of Italy.
It's hard to even find the footage of that section because I'm sure the Olympics is just like, well, erase all that.
No.
Can't show that.
Just like those doping records. Get them out of here.
Get them out. So you know who is inspiring a ton of unfiltered American patriotism, though? Is 17-year-old Red Gerard.
Yeah.
The youngest American Winter Olympian since 1928, who took home this year's first gold medal for the USA in the men's snowboard slopestyle event. And after wowing the world with what's apparently called a clean backside triple cork 1440, he wowed us even further by revealing that he barely made it to the slopes on time because he and a friend had stayed up late watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Netflix, and he had slept through his alarm.
Mm-hmm. You know why they didn't have a lot of young Olympians since the 20s, right? It's because of the wars.
Oh, yeah.
It's because of
the wars. Good point.
We need strong young men.
Our most able-bodied men.
Can't be out doing backflips. There's a war to fight.
Get in the trench, son.
Anyways, he says that he was running around his dorm frantically trying to find all of his gear and ended up having to borrow his roommate's jacket when he couldn't find his own. But by the time he was on the bus on his way to the event, he got a Snapchat video message from his friends and family who'd come to Korea to support him, featuring all of them shotgunning beers on the way to the event in his honor. Still, after 2 of the 3 runs down the mountain, he was in last place in points and only turned things around by doing a spectacular job in his final run. And as a cherry on top to Red Gerard's gold medal image, he was caught on camera immediately after finishing his event, hugging those drunk friends and family and saying, "Holy fuck, dog!" which made it past the censors, even on NBC's tape delay.
Red Gerard.
You know what? They did something right. They let him have his moment.
Yeah, good.
There you go. Also, they're probably just lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so Red Gerard's holy fuck dog was not the only gaffe to come from American news coverage of the Olympics because first up in this week's Best Weird Headlines, we've got
NBC fires Olympic analyst after comment on Japan's role in South Korea's development.
Yeah, so if you're in South Korea covering a major global event, maybe don't mention how they were occupied by Japan for
and how it was
a really long time.
A net benefit to them as a country?
It was actually a great thing that they were colonized by Japan. I don't know what the big deal is, like.
Yeah.
And he was like, South Koreans, they love Japan. They really look to Japan for inspiration. They're like, no.
It's the same.
Things are a bit touchier than that around here, buddy.
Yeah, if you're reporting on this, just shut the fuck up.
Just shut up.
Yeah, just talk about the sports.
Just read the bullet points. God damn.
It's like if you meet someone from South Korea and then you immediately say, "Oh, you guys are terrified by oscillating fans, right?"
Yeah. Well, they are.
But you don't say it.
But it's just so funny because it's like they get literally like 8 hours to get this completely perfect.
Yeah.
They have the easiest job in the world. and they still managed to fuck up.
Yeah. Well, he was fired.
Well, he was fired from that job. Apparently, he's an executive. He had no reason to actually be on camera at all.
Yeah, it was like a side project for him.
Guys, he's like that guy.
I'm doing so good. I'm gonna go take some time and you know what? Work for NBC for a while at the Winter Olympics. And how could this possibly go wrong?
It's like if you ever work in entertainment, you'll get people on the suit side of things who are like, hey, can I come on your? Hey, wouldn't it be great if? Like,
no, get out of here.
Just run the numbers, buddy.
Yeah.
This sounds like this is what happened here.
Yeah, he just shoved his way in, and then they shoved his way out. Boom, get out of here.
Here's another one. The Dutch don't let it slide after U.S. Olympic commentator Katie Couric says canal skating is important mode of transport for them.
Because they think that, she thinks
Yeah,
that,
the Dutch, they're so good at ice skating because in the winter, the canals of Amsterdam freeze.
And they gotta get to work.
It's like an ice skating freeway for everyone.
You should go there,
That's
it's
why they're
wonderful.
so good.
Yeah, everyone does it. It's
Damn it,
a
Katie.
community event. Yeah, I mean, it's like in the Winter Olympics, they're like, yeah, the Dutch are really fast at riding bicycles. They ride
I
bicycles.
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, nonstop.
They actually do.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It's a lot. You can go a lot faster on a bicycle when you don't have your best girl hanging off the back while you're riding through the streets of Amsterdam.
Here's a pro tip. If you ever go to Amsterdam, especially by train, you're gonna walk out, you're gonna be tempted to just walk out of the building and go into the city.
No.
You're gonna wanna stop at that door and look left and right, and then use that habit pretty much every 10 feet.
You'll get
because
hit.
you are going to get run the fuck over
And they're
by a
all
bike.
Olympians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hauling ass in there.
Holland ass. Chicago TV station mixes up P.F. Chang's in Pyeongchang in Winter Olympics traffic.
Another
It
completely
doesn't even have
avoidable
an F
gap.
in it. Who did this?
I don't know. They said it was like supposed to be, it was a graphic they made for something else. But even then, it's still stupid. I don't know. International events just expose how fucking bad Americans are at anything international.
Yeah. It's a
Pyeongchang sounds like P.F. Chang's.
All right. Yeah, fucking put it in there. It's a good joke.
Oh, it's a great joke. Get it?
Another suit making the choices.
All right, enough Olympics. Man stops to watch porn during alleged burglary.
Oh yeah, no, I read this one too.
I mean, I'm here.
They caught him.
My blood is pumping.
Yeah, exactly.
But
There's
yeah,
only one
he,
way to get the poison out.
They caught him with literally with his pants down.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Then he's just tripping over himself, falling
Oh, God.
over. Yeah. Thump. But then he injures himself and he sues you.
That's right.
Yeah, because of his
Gotta be-
crippling porn addiction.
You got to be very careful when you startle a burglar with his pants down
I
and
mean,
his dick out.
here's the thing. Put your conspiracy hats on. The husband, he's been looking at some nasty shit, right? Wife's caught him, red-handed, white-handed. And she's like, what are you doing? I found the internet history. You're looking at all kinds of weird shit. And he's like, babe,
No,
I have
the
no
burglars.
idea. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. So he calls that Japanese company and he's like, I need a patsy. They send a guy over and he's like, I'm gonna burglarize your house, but listen to this. It's not gonna be any normal burglary. I'm gonna get on your computer and I'm gonna start looking at all this weird shit. And then you, the hero, you come out.
Hey!
First off, wake your wife up. Yeah, hey.
Honey, someone's broken into our house, and he must be the one looking at all the porn.
He's looking at the porn right now. Candace, come look.
Oh my God, my hero, you saved us. And also, I know that you don't jack off.
Yeah, and you're not a liar. I love you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. And they lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
It's like, if you live through a crisis with a loved one, it's like you guys are closer than ever.
Yeah.
The guy was playing 5D chess.
I wouldn't put anything past those Japanese companies.
Yeah.
Nothing's real anymore.
Yeah, Patsy.
Patsy.
iPatsy.
iPatsy.
Yeah.
Facebook is suggesting mobile users protect themselves by downloading a Facebook-owned app that tracks their mobile usage.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't. So like,
Bad
hey,
idea.
hey, internet's real dangerous out there. You might want to use a VPN. Here, use our VPN. And yeah, no one's gonna track you except us.
Yeah, it's fine because we're doing it.
We're gonna be the ones tracking you.
Also,
You,
send us your nakeds.
What would the Zuck do that was bad? When has the Zuck ever done you wrong?
Yeah, well, it's because they're losing all that traffic. They're like, well, fuck, if we reroute everyone's traffic through our site, then it looks like we got a bunch of users.
Yeah.
It's genius. It's genius.
It's genius. The Zuck is a genius.
Yeah.
Study says half-day-old snow safe to eat. So
Well-
get out there and make yourself a snow cone, kids.
Yeah, figure out
As long as
whatever
it's fresh.
whatever government agency found that out. That's
Romania.
The fun. Romania. I was gonna say cut their funding, but Romania, it's fine.
Yeah.
They got a lot of snow there. So-
You'll get a little bit of snow, some fresh snow, pour a little chuika on it.
Oh yeah, Suica, the good stuff.
It changes you. It
That'll
turns
melt
you
that
into a
snow in.
werewolf.
Yeah,
It really does, though.
that's bad liquor that turns you into a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Missing Adirondack skier from Toronto found safe in California 6 days later. Was it on The Bachelor?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. It sounds like he was probably in some sort of fugue state. They don't know how he got there, though. He was still wearing all of his ski gear a week later, including like the goggles and shit.
That doesn't sound very good.
He was out there with his buddies skiing in the Adirondacks, way over there. Said, I'm going up for one more run. He just disappeared. They sent out like all the fucking rescue crews searching for him, and then a week later he like was at a payphone. He like called his wife. Was like, hey, how you doing? She's like,
Where
the
fuck
fuck
are you?
are you? Like, I don't know.
Nah,
So
and then he
he-
put his gear back on after his 6-day bender.
Yeah.
Went down to Vegas,
This
came over
one
to
definitely
LA.
demands further explanation. Because,
He's running a meth operation.
like, they don't know how he got there. His car was still at, like, the parking lot of the ski resort.
Yeah.
So no one knows how the fuck he got from the East Coast to the West Coast to, like, fucking Sacramento and never changed his clothes. It's very strange. And suspicious.
Camaro driver with dirtbag plate tased, arrested after series of bad decisions, Bellevue Police Department says.
It really was. The series of bad decisions was he rear-ended a guy, and then when that guy got out to document the damage, he got out of his car with a gun, threatened the guy, and then
Even though he was the one that made the mistake?
yeah, and then the police showed up, and he threatened the cops and somehow didn't get shot, probably because he's white, and so yeah, it's like 5 different crimes.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
he really lived up to that license plate.
yeah. Well, you mean life imitates art.
Does.
So, Florida boy gets trapped inside arcade claw machine. It seems like a week doesn't go by anymore without a kid ending up in a claw machine.
Yeah.
It's the old kid getting caught in the escalator.
My theory is that this is an underground child trafficking ring.
It's a pretty bold statement.
They
Elliot.
didn't say what kind of restaurant it was, but I'm gonna assume pizza.
Yeah.
And they had that kid in that claw machine as the grand prize for all the Hillary voters that were eating pizza there.
Yeah.
And then when the cops showed up, they're like, "Oh, the kid, he crawled into the claw machine."
Yeah. But then
Nothing
he had
to see here.
yeah, stitched inside of his underpants was the name Soros.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Big if true.
Probably false. Almost certainly false.
Oh.
The kid was like, it'd be a lot easier if I just crawled inside there and
I
grabbed
got
whatever I
soft
wanted.
bones. I can do this. And
Yeah.
then he did.
Yeah. They do.
And can't get back out. Woman tries hiding from police by placing washing basket on her head. It didn't work.
So you say by simply putting something on top of you. I mean, she didn't even do like the Metal Gear Solid trick where you hide inside of a cardboard box. You
Yeah.
just put it. It's like if you put the cardboard box on top of your head, but the hard side down, so it's just on top of it.
It's like, I can't see anything, so that means nothing can see me, right?
Yeah.
I'm invisible. I'm not invisible. I'm invisible.
Holy shit! Where did she
What?
go? Yeah, couple sells everything to sail the world. Their boat sinks on day 2.
I mean, that's tragic, but
Also, a
You-
very clear indicator of inexperience.
yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people, the idea of
Sailing.
and selling it all to sail the world, sure, sounds quite romantic. Sounds great. Nice midlife crisis there.
Yeah.
But boats are fucking dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're experienced, like, just don't. That was a bad idea.
Yeah. Guys, have you ever seen any of those boat races where the shit's going all crazy? The ocean's huge. You could hit that at any time. I think that, back before the internet and like any kind of like real news reporting or anything like that, this dream probably sounded great. They were like, yeah, you know what? Doug and Nancy, they sold everything they had and they sailed the world too. And they're doing fine. Great. How do you know that? Well, we haven't heard from them in a while. They must be doing great. They're probably in Barbados or something. And it's like every time it's just like, yeah, they went and sailed the world. Isn't it great? And like realistically, all these people are probably fucking dead at the bottom of the ocean.
They're all on an island playing with a volleyball.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Don't.
Just take a nice 3-hour tour on a local ferry.
Yeah. Those are
What
fun.
could go wrong?
A booze cruise.
Yeah, the booze
You can
cruises are
can
fun.
drink when you're not
You
driving.
can gamble too if
Yeah.
you get out far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw some money
Riverboat.
on the craps.
Next up, 45-minute standoff with tiger ends when police realize it's a stuffed toy.
Yeah.
This was in
Was this-
Scotland too, so it's like,
Oh, well, luckily it wasn't in America where they would have shot that
They were like-
fucking tiger dead.
yeah. They're like,
It's
oh
not
my god,
moving. Shoot it.
it's a real tiger.
Fire some warning shots into it.
Mr. Tiger, don't move. And
shoot.
they were like calling up all the local zoos, like, hey, you missing a tiger? And like, no one's missing a tiger. Like, well, how did this tiger get there? It's
Yeah.
clearly a real tiger. What are we gonna do? But at least
I want to see the video of the first cop that was like, all right. Puts a laundry basket on his head, gets a long poker, goes up. You can't see me if I'm wearing this. Starts poking at it, runs away,
yeah,
and then finally, like, boom, egg on their face. Is it Scotland, you say?
Scotland.
I mean, they're not seeing tigers all the time, so
No, they're
it's
not.
understandable.
They're not. They probably don't even know what it looks like.
What the hell is that? It's got
like
stripes on it.
Big orange cat with black stripes. This is wild. You think
Yeah.
it's an alien?
Could be.
Pass me another urn brew. Mm-hmm. I'm parched.
And some of that pig stomach.
Yeah, haggis.
Yeah. Oh, sheep stomach. Something like that.
Final headline. After fourth DWI, man argues legal limit discriminates against alcoholics.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
It's like, first of all, alcoholism is a disability. Hank Hill knows that for a fact.
Yeah.
You can't discriminate against someone with a disability. And also, alcoholism, despite being a debilitating disease, it has a silver lining where it takes a lot more drinks to get you drunk.
Yeah.
A 0.1 for a normie, you're gonna be having trouble.
Yeah.
But a 0.1 for an alcoholic, it's just taking the edge off.
Yeah. It's
He's fine, guys.
Nick Swartzen just did a post recently. He loves the drink. We used to see him
He does,
every night at the
yeah.
bar, back at our old location. But he had a post that was like tired of seeing people that say your workout is my warm up. Yeah, well, my 10 beers is your one or something like that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I've seen him drink.
Yeah.
Good man. Anyway,
He's a
that's
great man. Buy us shots, Nick. We love when you buy us shots.
We miss you, Nick. We need to come back to the West Hollywood Barney's Beanery sometime.
Yeah.
That's it for this week's Weekly Weird News. Check out a new recent episode of Tugs about
it was a kid who.
microtran- what-
Well, we have always microtransactions,
Yeah.
but about a kid who master prestiged Call of Duty without firing a single shot.
Yeah, and Shibby reviewed Donkey Donkey Little Richard Club.
Yeah, and then we also have a new episode of Tech News Day, so check that out. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.